So, hi, and for those of you who may not know me, my name is Jonathan Huggins. I am a language coach and English teacher, and I organize the 30-day speaking challenge. So, thank you to so many people who've been joining over the past few months, and this video is going to be an orientation for new participants, and also if for people just discovering the speaking challenge, I'll walk you through a little bit the process. For example, we'll start with the sign up process, just what's on the page. Make sure you're getting the emails, what to do with the emails and the content, and then also what to do with your recordings, and then also how to give feedback and how to perhaps participate in the Facebook group that is going along with the challenge. So I see a few people already joining and viewing so far. So go ahead and leave some messages. I see, for example, Mari and Sarah. So it's great to have the two of you joining so frequently in this in the challenge. You've been very helpful, supportive participants, and I appreciate that. So it really helps to have people who are experienced with this, who can also help out with some questions. And I see that there were some questions as well about Mari had some questions about like what to do on the Google Sheet. So I will get into some of those details as well of using the sheet itself. Okay, so for people who are just getting started with this, I'm going to share my screen and show you how to what to go through for the setup process. So for example, I'm going to go over here, put my screen share on here, and I'll go over to this one. Okay, so let me know if you can see my screen. That should be working. Okay. So I will also check over here, make sure I can see my screen. Yes, okay. Thanks, Sarah, for letting me know there that you can see the screen. Okay, so this is just the landing page on my website, so the hugginsinternational.com, and the link here is slash 30-day speaking challenge. So this is just a few details about the benefits of joining this program. It is a 30-day program, as it says, and the idea is each day we make a short recording, and some of the benefits are getting into a daily habit, getting a routine, a study routine that is going to help you out with your studies. It's going to help you assess what your strengths and weaknesses are in terms of you may not necessarily be the best judge of your skills in a foreign language. So this helps getting feedback from native speakers and more experienced learners. And this is a way for you to kind of get more confidence, get more comfortable with the speaking. In terms of the language level for people to start, I usually see that people who are starting off completely as a beginner, they struggle a little bit more with the variety of topics. So there's a variety of topics in terms of maybe introduce yourself, talk about your habits, your routines, your interests, maybe your work, your studies, describe your home, some conversational topics that could come up. And if somebody has a very, very low level in their target language, this could be an obstacle for being able to talk about many different subjects and topics. So it is possible to adapt those questions for your level, but I would probably see some better results from people who are at least like a pre-intermediate level. They've at least been studying a few more months. They have more vocabulary words. They know a couple grammatical structures. They've practiced speaking a little bit with some conversation partners or with a teacher. Maybe they've been studying on their own. So a little bit of experience helps. I mean, it is possible to start completely from scratch, but I would say usually those people, this is not their first foreign language. Maybe it's their third, maybe it's their fourth. So they have a little bit more experience in terms of being an independent learner. But the benefits still are possibly there. It might require a little bit more help from a teacher or from friends or native speakers who can help you out. If this is completely from scratch, I think there might be a sense of overwhelm. So if you have a little bit of experience already in your target language, this is a good starting point. And again, some of these frequently asked questions: how much does it cost? Is it free? How many languages can you practice in here? You can do as many as you want. I just mentioned the minimum language level. What happens if you skip a day? That's entirely possible. I think we all have busy schedules. Some days we have enough time to dedicate a few minutes for the recording. Sometimes the day is just really busy and it's almost the evening and we're getting kind of a little frustrated. So we might run out of energy and then might say, okay, I'll do more tomorrow. And that's a little risky, where if you didn't have time today, to find more time tomorrow might not be so easy. So it's better to find a regular time in your schedule, maybe earlier in the day when you have more energy, and then you can build up a habit, a daily habit, and then this habit starts to take over, and you don't have to force yourself or find inspiration or kind of have to push yourself to do this. If you can create a habit at a regular time or like a regular place that you will be able to make your recordings, don't worry if it's necessarily a really noisy background. I think for some people that could be an obstacle for just getting started, because they say, oh, there's some dogs in the background, or there's some construction work. I mean, the idea is just take action on your speaking. Okay. So the different tools that we use, there's things like SpeakPipe voice recorder, SoundCloud, Vocaroo, VoiceSpice. Right now I'm doing a YouTube live, or I could make a recording on my computer or my phone, then edit. I probably wouldn't edit it, but I could upload that to YouTube and then share a link with people so they can see that. So there are many options for making recordings. The idea is to have something that gives you a link, not the actual file itself, because that would take up a lot of megabytes. Some of these videos can even get into like a gigabyte. We don't want to have to send data. So if you have a link, if it's stored on a server, or you could even use a link to an audio file on like a Google Drive or OneCloud, or some of these document storing websites, you could do that and get a link to your recording. So there's a lot of flexibility on where you store your audio file, but the idea is have a link, and that link can be shared easily and people can listen to your audio file. It's okay to just do audio and not necessarily video. Some people are a little uncomfortable on camera, so the idea is just focus first on your speaking, and then from there, people can give you feedback on your pronunciation, your grammar, vocabulary, confidence level, fluency, just little things that might pop up. So here is this form at the bottom of this page. You just put your first name, your native language, target language. You're welcome to do more than one. Let me know a few details about how you've been studying so far, or if you've been studying on your own or in a classroom, or how many years or months, and what are your kind of current struggles? What do you currently find difficult with this language? And then your email address. Once you submit this, make sure that you are checking your inbox or a promotions folder, for example, in Google Gmail, or maybe a spam folder. There are usually a handful of people who, either on Hotmail or Yahoo Mail or a variety of different mail programs, they may not necessarily end up checking. They might not necessarily see that they signed up correctly, and there's an email that they will receive asking them to confirm their enrollment. And after they confirm that, you'll start getting these emails delivered to your inbox. That's automated. And then the daily ones, I send that out when I have written the content, and when I have interacted with some recordings and gotten some insights about some things that people need to work on, or some ideas for an upcoming topic. So the program is dynamic. It isn't completely 100% automated all the 30 days. The opening emails, the welcome email and the sign up, those first few emails are automated. And it's not too late to join. Today is still about the 4th day of the month. Still people are getting started. So it's not too late to join. So once you sign up, you'll get an email. Let me see if I can go find an example here for the emails. And just a second here. Let me take a couple, see if there's any questions over here. Okay. So that would be once you sign up for the email. Just one second. I'm going to go back to the camera here for a second, and then switch over to this for the sequencing here. Okay. Just a nod. Hi again, I'm still here. And I'm going to go over to share the screen of what happens when you get the first emails. So, okay. So this is, let's see if you can see this screen share here. So this should be the first email. If you can let me know if you can see this one on your screen. Yeah, it looks like this should be, yeah, that should be showing up again. Okay, so this is what the first email looks like. You'll probably get a welcome email saying, hello, welcome. Let me know a little bit about you, about your language studies. Give me send me an email, a few more details. And then from there, I just mentioned that, okay, I'm going to be sending out the first email on maybe the 31st of the month, and then some of the initial topics, just to introduce yourself. Maybe what's your name, where you're from, what languages do you speak, what are your goals in the challenge. That would probably be the topic, the content of the first recording, and mention a few details, that there's a Facebook group, and there's a few more, like a blog post and an interview that they can hear about to find out more about insights about how the challenge got started, if you're interested. And then finally, there's this day one email that just went out, and this is just to give you an idea of the languages that people have signed up in terms of their native languages and target languages. So there's a very rich diversity of people who have joined. So there are native speakers of English, people learning English, native speakers of Spanish, lots of people learning Spanish, and several of these languages. So the idea is, if you are making recordings in your target language, hopefully there will be at least a few native speakers who can help you out with some feedback. The challenge keeps growing, so there's a possibility that you can probably find some get some feedback. There's also people who speak multiple languages, so perhaps they might be a little bit more experienced in the same target language, and they could perhaps give you some feedback on that. So little by little, this keeps growing, and that's what I like about a community-based learning environment here. So finally, we get down here, and we have the links for what we're going to be using in here. So we have the SpeakPipe voice recorder. There's a YouTube video that shows you how to use this. I will also show you on my screen how to use this. And there's the form to submit your recording, a Google form and a Google Sheet where you can listen to other people's recordings. We also have two Facebook groups. One is a very small one, which is just for the people who are participating in this challenge. And there's another larger group that I also admin, which is for about 17,000 people from around the world. And that's a good place to post a request to find a language exchange partner on there. So I'm going to open up these links. So I'll click here, SpeakPipe voice recorder. And just to show you how this works on my screen, there's the video as well, but I'll just go through it and include it in this orientation a little bit. So start recording, and I'll just say, okay, test 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, I will click stop. Then I could listen to it, make sure that there was some audio. I'll just say, okay, test 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, the audio was recorded. My microphone was being picked up. I'll click server. I'm probably not bother putting my name on this one, but I'll hit save. And there I have a link. So I want to make sure that, like, the way it appears right here might be a little cut off, but the whole thing has at least these 16 letters and numbers. So I will 1, 2, 3. I'll click that line 3 times until the whole thing gets highlighted, and then I will copy that. Another thing I can do is open in a new window, and then I will get that same link here. And another benefit in a new window is that now that link is going to be in your browser history. So if you have Chrome or Facebook, or sorry, Chrome or Firefox or Safari or Explorer, by having that link appear on the address line for the website, you now have it in your history. So you technically, like, you won't lose that if something happened, if suddenly your browser closed. If you opened it in a new window, you would be able to retrieve that link. Whereas if you just go to this one and the link is only appearing on the screen, and you accidentally close the window, or you copy it, or don't completely copy it correctly, then you might lose that recording. And if you spend a few minutes making a recording and then lose it, you might get a little frustrated on this. So now that you have this link, you can go ahead, make sure it works. So listen again. I'll just say, okay, test 1, 2, 3, 4. So that still works. I know it worked. So I will have that link there. Now the next thing to do with this is to go to open the Google form. And I will because I'm viewing this within my because I'm viewing this within my email program, I'm gonna, yeah, here I have to open it like this. Okay, so now that I have the link to my audio file, this is the Google form where I will submit information. So I'll put my name. I'll say, okay, Jonathan. Let's say I'm studying. Let's say I'm studying German or French. My native language, I'm an English speaker, so I'll put here English. Maybe I'm working on my first day. This is just a self-introduction, like, hello, my name is, and then here I paste that link to the recording. And I also ask, like, double check that it looks like this. Okay, www.speakpipe.com/voice recorder/message, and then this 16 letters or numbers on there. So yeah, that looks like this example here. And I've tested it. I made sure that the audio worked. And then I could just put a short thing here, self intro, just a short presentation based in terms of like the feedback I'd like to get. Maybe I don't have anything specific. I will just put some general feedback here and then click, and then I'll click submit. And then once I submit that, I'll get some confirmation saying, okay, this was submitted. And then I can go check on the sheet. And here is the sheet where we have all of these audio files and these submissions on there. So this is starting from day 1 of this month. So people got started even on January 31st. Got an early start. That's completely fine. So some of these people, for example, there's somebody learning French and their native language is English. And I can go over here on this column F. I can click on this, I can highlight this link, and then here I have this little hand icon. If I click there, it will open this audio file, and here I can listen to somebody's presenting themselves in French. And if I take some notes and I'm a French speaker, or if I'm a little bit more advanced in there, I can then take some notes and realize, oh, okay, I would give them some feedback or some recommendations about, I don't know, the pronunciation of the French oo or the R sound, or maybe there's some grammatical detail or a preposition, something like that. So then I would go back over to here on this column I, and then I could write some details. Hey, great job. I understood everything you said. Oh, try working on this sound or something like that. And that would be enough to just give some written feedback. So I could write that directly in this cell. I say, okay, great job. Or I could go up to this formula line, and there I could write this and say, like, hi, I listened to your recording. Great job, something like that. So I could put that in there, or I could do it instead of, and then I hit enter, and that would be in the cell. Or another way I could do this is I could click on that cell and then do a right click, and then go all the way down to on this list, and it says insert comment. And then here it has my name, and I can say, hi, I listened to your recording. Great job. Keep working on the French oo sound, something like that. Or I can get more details, something specific. And then I'll click comment, click that and post it, and that'll go in there, and the person can read that. And then they can also respond to the comment. And this could be like a mini dialogue on there. Okay, and then people can get the feedback going on here. Another option here is on where it says audio feedback. What I could do is if there were a lot of details about pronunciation, I could do another SpeakPipe voice recording and talk about these details, the pronunciation, the vocabulary. It might be a little bit easier than just writing some comments, and then stick the link to that audio recording in here, and that would be a form of audio verbal feedback that somebody could listen to. Especially, this would be great for pronunciation feedback. And then if you are going through here, the sheet can get very full after a few days and after certainly a few weeks. So a few things that you might want to do here is filter the columns. So if I click on here, where is the filtering? I'm remembering this. I think it's on the data. Oh, okay, data, and then I can do a filter view. And I could do create a new filter view. And then I can now get this, as I click that create new filter view, then now I get all of these languages. So I could unclick all of them. Actually, no, how do I unclick all of them? I can click clear, I think. Yeah, if I click clear, then I unhighlight all of them. And then if I want to sort them by one specific language, so I could say target language, English. And then I go here, and then all of these are by English. So that would be there. And then I can go in and listen to these people's English file speaker. I could listen and then give that feedback. Or let's say I want to see my own recordings. So I'm gonna clear this, and I'll click OK. Actually, by undoing that, okay, select all. So by clearing it, then nothing is selected. So okay, I'll go back having everything on there. Now I'm going to create a filter on this column for the first names, and I'll do a filter view, and I will create a new filter view, or I think this is a I think it's I guess it's a new filter view. Okay, now I can create a new filter view. Now I have for the first names, and then here I can clear and then go select my own name. So I'll go find here Jonathan. Okay, there. So I'm looking for my own recordings. And then what the point of doing that is that now I can go see if people have left me feedback, and I can see, oh, I've gotten some feedback on Russian, some feedback on German, some feedback on Italian, some feedback on my French. So I'm doing a couple different languages in here, and it's great. Thank you, everybody who's been giving me some feedback on my own languages here. And then I can double check that and see that. And that can make this table a little less messy. But so that's how you could use the filter view on there. Sarah says here you can use control arrow down, and this can take you to the bottom of the list on there. So thank you for that tip as well. So I'm going to select all and then go back here, and I'm going to try to see if I can turn off the filtered view, because some people might not necessarily okay, none. I'll go back and click none. So I'm not sure if when I do the filter view, if everybody has to see that, or if it only appears on your own computer. So if you could test that out, a few of you, if you could test that out and let me know when you use this, so that you go up to format, or sorry, you go up to data, it's the data column, then filter, and then like filter view. You could see this. I think if you just do filter itself. Oh, okay. Actually, you don't need to do the full filter view thing. Sorry about that. You could just do filter, and then you have all these options for the languages, native language, target language, first name, and then you could turn those on. I'm still not sure if that only is visible when I do that or if everybody sees that. So, but I'll leave that on and let you guys experiment with that. And Mari asks, on the new sheet, I can't see the blue OK button. I'm not sure what the OK button is. I'll have to look into that, what the OK is for. Okay. Now, the other things that we have along with the challenge is the two Facebook groups. So I don't really want to necessarily show you the screenshot of the group itself, but that is in, there's about 200 people or more who are in that group now. And several of them have been participating in the challenge multiple times. And with that group, that's another a place where you can share a link to your recording or a video. Another participant has said that she often makes a recording on her cell phone. So just using like the camera video function on her cell phone saves the video on her cell phone. Then she will go into the Facebook group, and then when she's creating a post, just like she could add text or add a picture, there's an option where she can select a video that's on her phone, upload this, it loads into the Facebook group, and then it's just posted there, and people can watch this as a video. It's not necessarily a live video, but it's a video that she recorded for a few minutes speaking, and there people can leave feedback, and it's a little bit easier than the Google Sheet for creating a sense of dialogue between somebody who listens, gives some feedback, and then somebody says, "Oh, thank you," and by the way. So feel free also to share a link to recording, either an audio file or a video, if you feel comfortable with video and being on camera, in the Facebook group as well. It's a very active community there as well, and people are able to kind of leave some comments and get a dialogue going in the comments and feedback on there. What else could I say here? We sometimes also organize some Google Hangouts or Skype group calls. We haven't done a Skype group call yet, but you are welcome to organize yourselves and to post your own times. I'm going to go back to the camera now. I'm going to stop sharing here because this might get a little boring just only seeing this image here. Okay, so here I am again, and I'm seeing a couple of your comments. And okay, yes, seeing after choosing the language or name, we put OK on the new sheet. I can't see the blue OK. I'm not sure for that. Yeah, let me try again here on the filter. Okay, yeah, maybe if you don't see the OK button, it depends on if you're looking at this on a computer or a tablet. You may need to click Control minus, and that would zoom out. That would make you could see more of the screen by doing that. And then after or if there's some way you could scroll down on your screen so you can see that OK button. Yeah, I might need some more details to know if you are using the browser on your computer or if this is on a tablet, or if it's on a cell phone. Hopefully you're doing this on a computer. It'd be easier to see all the details on the spreadsheet there. But yeah, make sure this is in the data column, and then filter, and then you can use those filters for several features. I think I was at first doing a filtered view, but I think I just have these filters turned on, and then you can start selecting that. Please let me know for some of you who are able to use that, if those filters also appear when you use the spreadsheet, or if it was only on my own view. That would help me give some more details to other people using this. So just a summary, what we have so far. I've gone through the sign up page on my website, the hugginsinternational.com/30-day speaking challenge. And that gives a couple, some basic information about the challenge itself. And then there's the form that you sign up. Then you receive the emails. The first one would be just introduce yourself. And then there's the links that are at the bottom of that email for how to use SpeakPipe voice recorder, how to get the link from your recording. And I recommended also, if you could open that link, then it also is in your browser history. So you don't completely lose that link if something happens, unfortunately. Then I showed you how to use the Google form, which is asking you for your name, your target language, your native language, and the link to your recording, making sure that it fits a certain template, certain details in there, and then what you would like feedback on and what you kind of talked about. And then once you have that submission, you can go look at the Google Sheet. It's a lot of data. I do recognize that. It's a really big spreadsheet with data, but as I showed you right now, you can filter it. You can select certain things that you want to focus on, if it's a target language, if it's your own name, and seeing if you have already received feedback. You can give feedback by typing in the cell itself, or you can click on the cell and go to the formula line and type up there. Or you can right click on a cell, and then there's a list, and it says insert comment. And then you can get a little bit of a dialogue on the sheet, because it'll say that you left this person the feedback, and then they can reply to that, and you can have a few comments. So, oh, thank you. And if you have a Google account, or a Google Plus or Gmail account, then your name would appear there, and then somebody could connect with you on Google Plus, or so that's another way that you can interact with people. But a better way to interact with people is, if you have a Facebook account, go ahead and join the Facebook group, which is for the participants. And there it's easier to share additional links and have more comments about resources or recommendations, or having a little bit more of a dialogue. And then feel free to connect with people on like Facebook Messenger, or go to another platform like Skype or Hangouts, or so Facebook Messenger, it does, some students have told me it does have a good audio video connection. Some of them have told me it's a little bit better than Skype. So I'm testing both platforms there. I'm also doing right now a YouTube Live, which is technically in a Google Hangouts video. So test out a few of these platforms where you could connect with people, have a conversation with them. Yeah, it's a community, so try to reach out and find people who can help you with your speaking practice. And what I really like about this community is that it's a lot of serious language learners who are motivated to make speaking practice a priority, because I see on other groups, not to name groups or not to name languages, but some people are like, well, I'd love to learn this language, but I don't know how, or they don't know how to take initiative, or someday I will practice speaking. And what I like about people in the 30-day speaking challenge is that that someday it's today. So I like seeing a lot of people really motivated that want to make progress, because to really get a lot of momentum with your language, it's if you make this a daily habit, a daily routine, you're going to get better results. I've seen this across many different business backgrounds and business environments. So I was just watching a writing webinar a few days ago, and that was also the same piece of advice to make this a daily habit. I've seen this for people who want to become bloggers, people who want to be successful with a YouTube channel, people who want to grow their business. These make something a daily habit is one of the best feedback I've heard in many places in life. Sports, exercise, dieting. If you want to start a new, like learn a musical instrument, if you want to stop smoking, a lot of the stuff is like daily habits. So that's why I really enjoy organizing this daily speaking challenge, because we try to, it's had its ups and downs over the past few months, but little by little we are figuring out what works and what helps people with helping to make this a daily habit and build up this momentum, build up this feedback and sense of community. So I recognize that this has been like a long video, about 45 minutes. I'm probably going to break this up into shorter videos of like 4 or 5 minutes, and just turn this into a mini playlist of, here is the landing page. Okay, here is the first email that you receive. Here is the SpeakPipe voice recorder. Here's the Google form. Here's the spreadsheet and what you can do with that. So you don't have to watch an entirely long, like 45-minute video on here. But so thank you, Sarah, Mari, and Carol for joining this. I know that you are not necessarily new viewers or new participants in the challenge, but I appreciate your questions. This is helping me think of a few things to include for people who are joining for the first time. And and yeah, just seeing if there's any other questions on here. I think I had also received a question from Tanvir about if he could receive a certificate after participating in the 30 days. And I would say, well, I suppose I could create some template for creating a certificate. I'll look into seeing if there's other programs. I think my friends at Language Heroes, I think they have created a certificate for people who participate. But yeah, we could create something like that. If many people end up getting interested in that, then that could take up some time creating those certificates. But yeah, if I could look into seeing the possibility of making one. So I'll ask around, see what would be feasible for that. And but feel free to keep asking questions about this, and I will continue to ask them, if not necessarily live, because this has probably been about getting close to an hour now, so I want to be respectful of your time and wrap this up. But if there are any other general questions, please let me know here. And yes, learning new things about the Google Sheet and not necessarily being good at it, that's okay. I discover new things as well. I think there's people who even take, like, I don't know, training programs on the sheet, especially like in a business background where they would be doing formulas and things like that. So I've done programming with Excel sheets, and I think some of those formulas can also be applied in a Google Sheet. There's also a programming language that you can use to do some additional data. So there's a lot you can do with Sheets. I think for our purpose of just collecting people's recordings and allowing you to filter that, I think this filter view is probably a good option that we have there. Eventually, I would like to take this off of a Google Sheet and get it onto my website in terms of a database or an easier to use interface, but that's still in a future plan, and I would probably maybe need to get some crowdfunding to hire a programmer for that, but that's another issue for another day. But yeah, there's still lots of things to learn with the Google Sheet. And okay, if there's no other really big questions coming up about the challenge or about the recordings or the sheet, I think we will probably wrap this up. So thank you for joining. And okay, that you posted a picture on Facebook, and I'll check that out for that. Okay, yeah, I'll help you out specifically over there. I'll take a look at that and see more details for your specific question, Mari. So thank you, and everyone have a great day. And thank you again for joining the speaking challenge. So good luck with your speaking practice. Take care.